Good morning, everyone. So I've been swimming this morning, but oh, there's such a glare. You can see my eyes. There we go. So this morning I'm going to venture out to a local bookstore. It's a used bookstore, and it's been there forever. And I went many, many years ago, and it was so dark and so dusty and so grungy and like, ugh. I wasn't impressed. And so I just really haven't been back. But apparently they have new owners, and they've been doing a lot of social media advertising and all this and that, and about the new owners and all this and that. And so I thought, well, I need to get out there and see what's going on with this, new owners kind of thing. If they've like lightened it up in there to where you can like see what you're doing. Because I remember the aisles being so dark and so dusty, and it was like you didn't want to touch anything. It was like, ugh, So hopefully they've at least painted the walls and brightened it up a little bit so you could actually see the books that you're looking at. So I'm going to go there today. They are having a $1 sale. And from what I understand, it's like anything in the store is $1. So I'm curious to see if we can, curious to see if they've brightened the place up and if it's cleaner and nicer. And I'm curious to see if there's anything worth $1 to scope out. So I'm going to take you guys along with me. I'm going to see if they'll let me film in there. It's a small bookstore, so they may be against it, but who knows? I'm going to see. So we'll see. We'll see what we find. So come along. Okay, so I'm here, and it looks like there's the bookstore, and then next door is the warehouse, and there is a crap load of people in there squeezed up in that little room. So I am not going to be filming in there because there's just too many folks up there. I didn't realize they had a bookstore, and then the other section was their warehouse. But it's a big open room that has, it looks like just boxes of books. So I'll see if I can flip the camera around and show you. I don't want to video anybody coming and going, but anyways, there's a lot of people in there. So yeah, we won't be filming, but I'll show you guys what I get, if I get anything. Again, there's a lot of people up in here, so we'll see. Okay, so there is the warehouse. There's the little bookstore down there, but there's the warehouse, and I don't know if you can see all the people milling around, but there's a bunch of people in there. So yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, whew, that was a whirlwind. There was a handful of people in there for sure. Yeah, maybe it'll die down after a bit, but it was, look at that. That's how much of a craziness it was. I found 6 books, $1 a piece. So the bookstore is next door. So I think I'm going to go over there and see what I can find over there. So again, they're 2 different places. And I guess that the $1 sale is not for the bookstore, just the warehouse. So, but I found some random books. One book that's been on my list for a little while is The Forgotten Girls. I saw this posted about the other day, and so yeah, found it. Hardback, $1. Very cool. I don't remember what it's about. A memoir of friendship and lost promise in rural America. So yeah, that's that. It's been on my to find book list, so we found it. But anyways, I think since I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and walk next door to the actual bookstore and see what they're all about. But there's just way too many people up in here, so anyways, I'll be right back. Okay, so the actual bookstore is not that impressive to me. I'm not gonna pay $8, $10, $12 for a used book when I can get them free on audiobook or Libby. It is brighter in there, but it's still a bunch of old books. So maybe if I was looking for books, like older books, or if I was collecting something, or maybe that would be the place to check out, but I don't know if we're going to find any good, like, new releases or anything like that floating around in there. And if so, we're going to pay pretty chunky price for them. You know, I kind of walked through a couple of books I picked up. One was $13 and one was $8. And to me, that's not used book prices. So not when I can find them at sales like this for $1 or at the library sales for 50 cents or, you know, so. But now I know that that is here, and it is what it is, and so we'll move on. But I'll finish this up in just a moment. Once I get home, I'll do a kind of like a book haul for you guys, show you what all I got. Like I said, not much, just 6 little books, but you know, it was worth it to say, yep, I've done it, all good. So anyways, lesson learned. See you in a bit. Okay, we are back home, so let's do a little book haul. Nothing special, but you know, you get what you pay for. So, I picked up the Tale of Beatrix Potter. It's a small, quick read, but it's got photos and all that. A friend of mine did a big journal make art project about Beatrix Potter, and it was pretty interesting. So this is like a penguin read, so it's probably a young reader's book. But anyways, pick that up. The bookstore that I went to was called the Book Nook. No, the bookstore. Central Arkansas on JFK. The bookstore. Then we have another little bonus bookmark in this book. But anyways, The Tale of Beatrix Potter. I just thought it was interesting. And again, I mentioned the Forgotten Girls. So this is, let me read about you. Talented and ambitious, Monica Potts and her best friend Darcy were both determined to make something of themselves. How did their lives turn out so different? So it says, growing up gifted and working class poor in the foothills of the Ozarks. The Ozarks are through Arkansas. So a memoir of friendship and lost promise in rural America. This was published in 2023, so it's a fairly new book. So yeah, I was looking to see if it mentioned Arkansas or, yep, Van Buren County, Shirley, Arkansas. So yeah, this is about Arkansas. So that's cool. And again, it was on my kind of radar to see if I could find it, or I was going to listen to it audiobook or whatever from the library. But cool. I've got my own copy now, and it's in good shape. So, of course, it's, you know, a fairly newer book. The other couple I got were just randomness. The Rhino with Glue-On Shoes. So this says, and other surprising true stories of zoo vets and their patients. Forward by Jack Hanna. Let's see here. Let me see if I can figure out when it was published. Published in July, yeah, copyright 2008. I picked this up because it sounded kind of interesting, and in the Herkhead challenge that I'm doing, zoo animals is one of the prompts. So what better way to read about zoo animals than to like read about stories about zoo animals? So pick that one up. And again, it has marked $7. Again, as I mentioned, this used bookstore, like these are the stickers. So this was $7, but they dumped it to their dollar bin, and so there you go. But again, $7 for a used book is a little much for me. So, positive manifestation, powerful affirmations and meditations to create the life you want. This has a sticker of $15. Manifest the life you want. This looks like a quick kind of pick it up and read a little bit when you want to. It's got images and all that good stuff. So, just kind of a little book about positive manifestation. Let's see if we can figure out when it was published. No. I'm interested in manifestation. I'm interested in it. 2022. So I don't have many books about it. So, for $1, I thought I'd check it out. We can't go wrong. Change the story of your health using shamanic and Jungian techniques for healing. I don't know about this, but we'll see. I'm interested in Carl Jung and his methods and theories. So for $1, I thought I'd figure it out. 2017, copyright, change the story of your health. Imagine experiencing less stress, greater well-being, and even better physical health. Dr. Carl Greer explains that through journaling, exercises, and expanded awareness practices, many of which are influenced by Jungian and shamanic traditions, anyone can tap into hidden resources for healing. The practices empower you to gain insights, balance energies, dialogue, and interact with nature, and work with your dreams, your inner healer, and more. Whether you are dealing with aging, unexpected health challenges, or ongoing concerns, you can change your health story. So we'll see. Like I said, it's in good shape. Probably hasn't ever been cracked or opened. The last one I got was the Curator's Game Masterpieces. I just flipped through this, and it's a bunch of images. I do collage art, and so I was like, okay, we'll play with that. We'll see what we can do with this. I don't even know what this is about, but we'll see. Stunning visual game that engages and challenges readers to identify and appreciate great works of art. A stunning visual game. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just open it and see. The Curator's Game. Copyright 2006. A new version of a classic art curator's game. I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do here, but again, it had some pretty cool images of art, and so maybe you find these in art. I don't know. So here's some eyes. How cool is that? So again, it'll be fun to collage with and play around with. Of course, I'll read through it and figure out what I'm supposed to do with it first before I start cutting it up. But chances are highly likely that it's going to be cut up. So, yeah. So anyways, that's what I got. Those 6 books for $6. And we marked that off the bucket list that now we know what that bookstore is all about. And I would check out their dollar store, their dollar sales. I don't know that they have them every month. They might. But and they're from 10 to 3. And so I would probably go a little later in the day. I mean, it's just now 11:30, so I've already gone, and I was there at 10:30. So I would kind of go a little later and wait till the crowd dies down, I think. But anyways, now I know about the bookstore, and I won't waste much time there unless I'm looking for an older book that they might have. So anyways, thanks for joining me on this little adventure for the day. Got a couple of books going on, and so I'll be back to my reading. So thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.